So we all know it's that season again, everyone's shopping gifts, but then you stumble across this one guy who always have a camera in their hands and you're like, oh, what should I buy for it? What would you buy a photographer as the Christmas gift? Piece of okay. Yes, man. What is that being a photographer, filmmaker, TikToker, just a person with a camera in their hand? The coming up 10 items got you covered from couple dollars to a couple $1,000. And there's gonna be one extra bonus gift idea that's gonna come up, so make sure to watch till the end. So the first one on my list, we have these cleaning packs. Hold on, let me get them real quick. Okay, this is the cleaning pack that I have. I got these from my local camera store, Henry's, and you see in there you have this rocket blower, this like cleaning pan, alcohol wipes, microfiber cloth, all that. You can find all of these stuff in Amazon or just your local camera store, all that, for a really cheap price. I got mine for $30. Every single photographer, filmmaker, a dude with a camera needs these because this thing really easy runs out and people need these to clean their lenses and clean their sensors. So this is gonna be very budget friendly and it's still gonna be very useful for these people. So second on the list, we have tripods or table pods. I actually have quite a few of table pods. I have about 3, all from different accessories. So yeah, I kind of have a collection of them and you can find these for like $20 or $10 on Amazon depending on the brand. I mean, this can help them maybe start a YouTube channel. It might be a great inspiration for them to start to hold their cameras and talk. So I think that's also a pretty good idea. And also, as I mentioned about tripods, I have this pretty plasticky off-brand old tripod that my mom have. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's honestly not stable at all. Oh yeah, hold on. Speaking of tripods and different stands and different mounts, one thing that's gonna speed up their process and their workflow so much are quick release plates. And that's something I also struggled with because so if you know me, like okay. So for second one, we have lens bug or lens cup, depending on how you call it. So I saw this in one of my fellow photographer friend Instagram reel, and then he's a Nikon shooter. Then when he showed off his gear, I saw this Canon camera lens. I'm like, did I just see a Canon EF lens with a Nikon shooter? And I comment down it, and then he said, oh, it's actually a lens cup. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then I got to Amazon and it's like, it has something like 1,000 sales or more than that, which is pretty sick. I mean, like, this is kind of like a bit of a something that's like not so formal, like something goofy, I guess you can buy for your photographer friend. So third up, we have SD cards or just storage, which I will talk about later on. You just can't do this without SD cards, right? It's what every photos and videos go into. SD cards always helpful. You can find these at different storage gigabytes levels. There's 32, 64, 128, but just get like 32 or 64. That's really cheap, only like $10. Still something very effective and useful for your photographer, or I mean, okay, let me not call it a photographer or filmmaker. Let's just say a camera dude. Yeah, they will really appreciate this SD card. So fourth on the list, we have external hard drives or just storage that, as I mentioned. So storage is honestly just like your money in this industry or just in modern days, because data is like money, right? I don't know how this camera dude is gonna use this external hard drive. They might put things in there or they might back up things with external hard drives. And I actually made a video just about my media management workflow and how I do this and do that. So if you want to watch it, make sure to go check over here. Hard drives, extremely useful. Everybody needs them, especially photographers and videographers, because our files easily can be a few gigabytes. You can buy an $100 external SSD that has really fast speed, or you can buy $100 of HDD with a couple terabytes, which is normally for backing up. So yeah, you can choose between these two. So I just suggest like 1 terabyte of SSD and like 5 terabytes of HDD for your friends. Alright, so now you can really see how the price is going up. We're now kind of in the 100, 200 price range. And the next up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth on the list, we have lights. And actually, right now, when I'm filming this video, I'm actually having 3 lights to light up myself. Now with the little breakdown, this is a ring light that I got last year. I think my brother gave me. Piece of the light one I got from another fellow YouTuber named Victor. He had this giveaway in one of his milestones. Yeah, definitely a great guy. That I will link his channel down in the description. Definitely go check him out. Great guy, great content, all that. And then there's one more, this random lamp that I found in my house that's giving me some of the hairlight. Oh, there's actually one more here, but yeah. For the lights, I really suggest if you want to buy for this camera dude, buy a light tube or a light wand or a light ring. These are just very portable and they're very budget friendly. They're only like $100-ish, and actually this light one is about $300. If you buy them studio lights, they might get more into portrait shooting. They might go into shoot headshot for others, who knows, but yeah, lights, good stuff. Go buy them. So on number 7, we have keyboards and mouse, or just basically any peripherals like headphones, speakers. So okay, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but actually some of these stuff I own, which are all the things I mentioned above, but there's also something that I actually want. So if you know me, like, it's not because like they have no mouse or keyboards, but they probably want some upgrades. Also, if a person's into cameras, they're likely also to be tech nerds, so buy them new set of peripherals. I think they will also be quite thankful, especially just switching up the mood and switching up the desk setup a bit. And yeah, I think that should also be cool with your friends. Alright, so the list is kind of coming to the end, but on top 8 we have gimbals, and I actually have one right over there on the shelf. So I've got this one from, alright, let me correct all the creators that say this name wrong. You have to say it in a Chinese way. So instead of calling it Jian, Zion, Jian, disgusting, it's called Zhi. Listen to this. Zhi and Yun. That's how you call it. Gimbals are a really fun things to play with. I've made quite a lot of interesting content with this thing, and it might be a bit complicated at the beginning, especially when you're balancing the gimbal. It can be quite frustrating, but once you get the hang of it, you get it pretty fast. Gimbals, very fun thing to work with, and there's quite a lot on this market right now. But the 2 brands that I recommend going with is definitely Zhiyun. So I got this secondhand from Facebook Marketplace for about $200, but if you want to get brand new, it's about like $400 or $300. But there are also many other gimbals from DJI or also from Zhiyun that's like $500, $400-ish, and yeah, there's no bad gear nowadays. It's all just like these little features that make your life easier. So I don't know, just decide yourself and buy yourself, or I mean your camera dude, a gimbal. Okay, now we're getting into the really pricey things. We're now in like 500 to 1000 range. And next up, or I should say second last, we have drones. I've talked about drones too much on this channel. It's being too cliche, but actually what I'm actually talking about are FPV, and everyone knows how to use a drone now. Like everyone is not surprised with drones. There's too much mastered in drones and it's really hard to stand out. Yeah, so like I think FPV is such an interesting thing to buy for your friend. I think they will really like it. Well, I mean, if they crash it, then it's another story. Speaking of crashing drones, that brings us to my last, or okay, not last, I have another bonus, but to my last item on the list, and that's software subscriptions. For example, like as I was saying about crash, you can buy them DJI cares, like for their drone like warranties, or just like Adobe apps like Adobe Premiere Pro, Adobe Lightroom with plugins, all that. It's just the essential part to their craft, to their art, right? It just doesn't work. They just need these things to do their art, to survive almost. But that also brings us to a problem, which is it cannot be a surprise. So like just ask them what software you want to use and I can buy it for you, which I mean, it still has a really good effect, right? It still works. Alright, so that is about it on this list. But as I promised, I have another bonus gift, which I'll show you right now. Well, I mean, you probably already seen this, but it's actually just buy them a piece of prints. So a print of a photograph is, I think, something that's really special to someone who's into photography, because it really like demonstrates and it really kind of set a reminder for them on what they like, and for prints it just have this special attractiveness, I guess. This thing looks good. But what I'm trying to say is it could be a print of their own photograph that like you tell them to send you, or it could be someone they really admire, just framing it on their wall, and yeah, I think it's gonna be really special. And put this back on. Alright, so with these 10 items on the list, I hope I gave you a pretty good idea of what your camera dude is into and what you should buy for this person. And yeah, I just hope that they can enjoy the gifts that you gave them. And yeah, I hope you have a great holiday season, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.